And which one of them decided to come up with a genre of flamenco punk? It's got to be Lee.
That would be me from many years back, 1993, when I lived in Zaragoza, Spain.
Right.
Zaragoza to most
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a couple of Zs in there. Why punk and flamenco?
We used to rehearse in the desert, and we had a tour coming up with the Ramones. That was in 1993, and we used to just jam with loads of brilliant flamenco bands, and they insisted upon playing Anarchy in the UK for some bizarre reason, and it sounded great, so we just took like a few tracks, flamencoed them up and punked them up, and it worked, and we went out on tour with the Ramones. It was punky rumba flamenco, which was bizarre. I mean, made the Spaniards laugh, though. No, it went down
So
great.
I take it you all buy into this flamenco punk thing then in that case?
Yeah.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah. It was I've always said when I first listened, so the way it worked was Kerry joined recently before me, and I've been with Kerry for a long time in other bands and stuff. So she gave me the idea, and I've known for the Pistoleros for a while, but the first time I heard them, it was it's something different, something unique. It's not your generic middle of the road kind of rock, and it kind of, it works in a wonderful way where you can bring so many different audiences in. It's real nice to see.
Well, how do audiences react? Because what kind of dance? Cause can you do Latin dancing to this? Probably not. It's
Definitely
a bit more.
We don't get a lot of Latin dancing.
No, we don't get much Latin dancing, which...
Okay, but you are known as flamenco punk, you see. So.
Yeah,
It's more on the punk than the flamenco.
Yes.
This flamenco. But I think it shocks people, to be honest with you. I think people, they understand, they listen to the music and go, okay, we get it. And then when we play live, they go, ooh.
Yeah, I mean,
It's different, isn't it?
Yeah, who can get away with covering "Come On, Eileen"? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, only us.
But that's not the only thing you cover. We'll come to that in a minute. But there's other things that you cover. I mean, the stuff that I've heard you do that I've heard this afternoon. You've got no barrier. There's no bounds for you, is there?
No, it's great. I always thought that was the thing when you first join a band, is to be something different, something unique. But we found it really strange because people can't pigeonhole you. They don't quite know how to put us.
Yeah, but you've done Ricky Martin.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yes.
Which does have a bit of a Latin, that has a Latin spirit about it, but you've kind of taken that away.
Yes. No, and that goes down amazingly well at live gigs, which is with rock audiences, which is predominantly where we played at big rock festivals, and I suppose we're classed as a rock band if you're going to put us in any genre. But I don't know, it's just something different.
Indeed, something different. They've given it away. It's Come On Eileen, done flamenco punk style from the band Gypsy Pistoleros. Lee claims that they have created something new. It's flamenco punk, verging on glam rock and the rest of it. But they were great fun when they came in for a conversation just around 5 o'clock-ish. And I reckon they'd be great fun to see live. Very colourful as well, very influenced by glam, bit of makeup involved. That is part of the conversation. And they've done this cover, right, of Come On Eileen, flamenco punk style. You'll have to wait a bit to hear it, but back to the conversation and how they got together.
Well, I've been friends with Lee for years, and I used to be...
He's never put you off then, obviously.
I actually used to be really into the Gypsy Pistoleros and go and see him all the time. We just used to hang out, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then I was just out walking my dog one day and we bumped into each other.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and Lee was like, they'd had to get rid of their bass player, and he was like, you don't want to do it, do you? I was like, okay. Well, actually, I came back, spoke to you, didn't I? I was like, I've been asked to join. He was like, do it. I was like, okay.
I think my words are, if you don't do it, I'll be bitterly disappointed and we won't be friends anymore.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did that.
You had to do it.
Yeah, and then 2 weeks later, we needed a drummer.
Yep.
So there was only one person to ask, really, wasn't it?
Yes.
It's a nice, easy fit, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
I think it's difficult now with on radio, rock is pretty much very niche at the moment. And I just think with things like covering Come On Eileen, for example, you broaden the spectrum of who you're going to actually come across to and who's going to be sort of into it. And they only sort of afterwards go like, oh, by the way, it's a rock band.
I think it entices people as well. It kind of captures them. They go, it's something they can relate to, and then from there they can go and find your original stuff.
Just about your covers band, what sort of covers do you do? What artists and songs?
Oh, we'd do anything from like 80s upwards, isn't it?
That's Polka Dot Robot, isn't it?
Polka Dot Robot, yeah. We'll do anything from Cyndi Lauper, Bon Jovi.
Wow, what a change from what you're doing here.
Yeah, for sure.
I get the impression there's a lot of makeup involved, a lot of costume.
Sadly.
Yes.
but it makes sense.
Okay, so there's a rumbling of discontent in one corner of the room.
It's not so much discontent, it's more the fact having the time to put it all on.
Why is it the drummers are always the pain in any band, you know?
Because we're the sweatiest and the most anarchic, and we're like,
It
look.
doesn't stay on very long, does it?
After 3 songs, it's gone. So for me, I'm sitting there going, it's half an hour of getting it done for 15 minutes.
I mean, the whole point about the makeup and sort of thing is, I remember because I've toured in the past with Motorhead and with a few very big bands.
Might drop it like no tomorrow.
But yes. Oh, I can name drop loads. But Lemmy sort of said, he said, who wants to go and see a show with the guy next door up on stage? And one of my ultimate sort of idols that I met was David Bowie. And the Ziggy Stardust time, that still sticks with people. It's a show, and you need someone, especially in these times when it's a lot of money to go and see concerts. You've got to give people a show now. You don't just want to see like 5 people stood there playing what you can play essentially on a CD or a vinyl at home. So,
is there a cross between this flamenco punk and perhaps a bit of glam rock as well?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we're all...
You're the rockier end of... You're sort of glam rocker, rocky, you know.
Yes, I mean, we're all... Well, we're all into the sweet and that sort of thing at that time. And T-Rex, the original Ziggy Stardust. So it's all a conglomeration of that and punk and rock and
more 80s glam.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do pretty much anything. And the great thing is about being this band, we can. You know, rather if you're, we're a death metal band, you're going to do Come On Eileen.
When we do writing sessions, it's great because we're not that band that go, oh, somebody's brought a riff in there, go, oh, that sounds too, I don't know, pop if you're a rock band. For us, they go, oh, like that riff, let's go for it. When we don't, confine ourselves into one genre. We go, if it works and we like it, let's just roll with it and see what happens.
Yeah.
So I've kind of gone in on the covers that you've done, the Ricky Martin and Dexy's Midnight Runners. But as has been mentioned, you do come up with you do your own material as well.
Yes, we do. We've got a new album out. Which is out November the 3rd. It's on pre-sale now at Earache Web Store, Earache Records, that is. It's really strange because we've only released, this will be the 3rd single off the album, and they're all different. So it's really strange. We recorded and produced it with Dave Draper in Pershore, Old Cider, and he's a brilliant producer. And he's great because he's got the same mentality of whatever the song needs, we do, as opposed to this is your sound, and you can have an album that sounds exactly the same on all those songs.
But he got us as well. He kept it.
Yes.
He's kept the album kind of raw. It sounds nice. It's nice and polished, but it keeps our raw element going as well, which is really good.
Yeah, because we are essentially a rock band, and we do big rock festivals, and we tour with big rock bands, so we can't completely alienate them.
So we've got Craig, Kerry, and Lee from Gypsy Pistoleros, the Worcestershire flamenco punk band, and they are very proud of what they describe. This is how they describe it, okay? As perhaps the best chance a Worcester release since Elgar has of being a hit. They've done a flamenco punk version of Come On Eileen. You'll get that shortly. First of all, is it a hard sell, flamenco punk?
It's strange because on your Spotify thing, when you have to put your genre, it's rock, punk, glam, flamenco, which means that we don't end up on any Spotify editorial playlist because they can't quite figure out what it is.
Don't know where to put it.
No.
Does.
But we said we're the greatest flamenco, glam, punk, rock band ever, which is so you just create your own category.
Are you all from round here?
Yeah, we're all Worcester.
Yes.
All Worcester.
Because you mentioned about being in Spain. Are you originally from round
Originally,
here?
I was Kidderminster, and then I went to, via Zaragoza, Spain, LA, all over London for years.
So
and,
just to interrupt, what you said about touring with the Ramones, you met Bowie and all these sorts of people, and we've had some sort of cries of pick up the names kind of thing.
Yeah.
How did you come by all these people?
I was in a band from a young age, back in the mists of time. I started off in a punk band, supported The Damned. Then we went on to support Lords of the New Church. Then I moved to Spain, and we did Nazareth, UFO, Dio, Sabbath.
Dio. I never thought I'd ever hear that name again.
Motorhead 2 tours, Sepultura.
Chaos AD.
Ramones. It's all there. Yeah, and So I've been doing some big sort of tours back then, but I sort of fell off the wagon. I was a complete rock and roll mess then, and I got sort of clean. I came back to Worcester and did a degree touring theatre at the uni of Worcester, and thought if I'm going to get a band back together again, we're going to do it properly this time. And so we just an original band, and I got the best musicians from Worcester. Couldn't get them, so I got these lot.
I'll take it, man. I'm still all right with it. I know my place, and I'm fine.
I was going to say, I mean, with bearing in mind that sort of wisdom and experience, and he's talked about being a mess and getting cleaned up. Is he a great leader?
Honestly,
he is really good.
Being on tour is great because the stories are awesome. You always know in the van we've got another story coming. But you've got the good direction. He knows what he needs, and you kind of know that when you get taken on. I think later on in a band's career, and you get taken on, you have to know that notion, understand their direction, and then you only just try and better it, right? Which I think we're doing.
Yeah, which this is the best album that I've ever done. Just hope. I mean, the pre-sales are great. It's up for pre-sale now, and they're brilliant. So we're hoping. Well, fingers crossed, it will definitely go top 40 in November.
Now, the reason why you're in with me, that it was suggested that I speak to you because I get called Johnny Ray, because so this is why we thought we'd because if I go to a retro night, I mean, these nowadays the 90s is the thing people listen to, but when people had a hankering for the 80s, when that song came on, there's everyone just stands around me and thinks I've never heard the line before. Poor old Johnny Ray sat up on the radio, and I have to sort of go, oh yeah, original thinking, never heard all this before. But you've given Dexy's Midnight Runners, we will hear it in a minute, but you've given it certainly your own flamenco punk twist.
Yes, and that was difficult. I mean, to take such an iconic song as that and do it differently and almost like not revamp it but we have, I think.
Well, they called us to Dexy's Midnight Runners.
Yes,
rock.
that's why we did it, because we got
I thought you were joking when you said we were going to do this as a cover, and I laughed and I went yeah sure.
So it was going to be brilliant.
And somebody thought that was a great insult, so we thought, right, we're going to own this. So we did Come On Eileen.
What was the insult again? Sorry, just
we're the Dexy's Midnight Runners of rock. And so we thought, well, let's own this then. So the next big festival we played in a Hard Rock Hell Festival, November, wasn't it?
No, we did. I think it was this year, wasn't it?
March, March. Sorry. We rehearsed it twice, and we just went for it. We played it, and it went ballistic. The whole place went mad.
The band Gypsy Pistoleros with their version of Dexy's Midnight Runners, Come On Eileen. They are the creators and curators of flamenco punk. What do they think of their cover of that classic?
Even if I do say so myself, it's great.
You gonna do Gina?
Do a full album.
Yeah, wait for the Dexys Midnight Runners covers album.
We've got the dungarees now.
Yeah, dungarees. You guys have got the dungarees.
No, hang on a minute. Yes. You don't seriously. You would not look good in dungarees, the three of you. To be honest with you, you look like you were taking part. With Rod, Jane, and Freddie, not.
You'll just wait and see when the video comes out, mate.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
you'll see.
We shot like a fun video at Paradiddles in Worcester, and we were all in the dungarees, and the rest of them were all punky and whatever.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. That's going to be out in the next couple of weeks.
And you've got a busy weekend.
Yeah, we've got
Start, isn't it? We're
Malvern Rocks Festival tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then where are we?
Pre-show tour. Then we're in Bridgewater.
In
Cobblestones.
Savfest we're in, and then we do the big one at the end of.
We've got 45 live in Kiddie.
Oh yes, yeah, local, and then
August.
Then festival-wise, we're at Sleaze Festival Hard Rock Hell at the O2 Sheffield.
But
That's
we're
the
back
end of
here,
August.
Worcester Music Fest on the 15th of September.
Yeah, and we do our big pre-album launch at St Swithin's Church, which is going to be really different.
I know.
Yeah.
Flamenco punk in a church.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, we shall be in the pulpit.
We'll keep it clean.
Keep it in the pulpit we shall start. No preaching. And then we're on tour basically up until December.
We've got every weekend from essentially now till I think the second week of December. We're away somewhere in the UK.
Yeah, and we're booked up next year as well. And fingers crossed, we're doing the States next year as well.
Oh, brilliant! Wow.
Yeah.
Heading back to some of your old stomping ground. Yeah?
Oh, well, I played. Yeah, I toured the States before with everyone from Motley Crue to Guns N' Roses. Shall I name drop any more?
No, pick up the names first. Thank you, Lee, Kerry, and also Craig from Gypsy Pistoleros. They're playing at Malvern Rocks this weekend. They're at the New Inn.